one thing I will tell you after spending 30 years in this business of media and now back in politics, I remain absolutely amazed at the Spectator's gift for finding and nurturing young journalists who are always worth reading. I once asked Vladi, how do you find such great writers? And I've never forgotten his answer. We never hire journalism majors, Lou. You can always teach anyone to ask who, what, where, when, or why, but you can't teach them to think.
Is there anybody here who didn't see Forrest Gump? Anyone? One. Oh, well, the movie's on television every day. I mean, you can see it. Our 30th president, Calvin Coolidge, said, "The nation which forgets its defenders will itself be forgotten."
It is an incredible honor to share the stage with a national hero like Sergeant Sammy Davis. To share the stage with esteemed journalists like Bob Terrell and Bill McGurn and Steve Moore. And to share the stage with TV and movie stars like Ben Stein and Donald Trump and Gary Sinise. For a geeky lawyer from Texas, this is pretty darn cool. And I have to say, having been a teenager in the 80s, I really hope this evening does not end without Ben leaning forward and simply calling out, "Bueller, Bueller." Well, we're at the end of the evening, and I'll tell you I will do my very, very best to try to keep my remarks under 21 hours. But you will know I'm nearing the end when I pull out and begin to read The Cat in the Hat. Look, 21 hours is a long time. It's a really long, I mean, it's almost as long as it takes to sign up on the Obamacare website. 4 or 5 of the small business owners going around the table said the same thing. They were between 30 and 40 employees, and they had decided not to expand, not to hire new people. Think of all the millions of small businesses across this country that are making that same decision right now. There's a lot of talk in Washington that Republicans need a, quote, rebranding. Listen, we're not selling soap. We don't need a rebranding. We need to focus our energies on those who are struggling and the policies that make it possible to achieve the American dream. Right now reminds me very, very much of the late 1970s when we had terrible economic conditions, out of control taxes and spending, no economic growth, a feckless foreign policy, and what it took to turn this country around was the Reagan Revolution that a lot of the men and women in this room bear the scars from fighting. A grassroots revolution across this country, the American people standing up and saying there is another way. We can get back to our free market principles, our constitutional principles that are the foundation of this nation. That's what we need to do. That's what Bob Bartley argued so passionately for on the pages of the Journal. It's what Bob Terrell has fought for so many years, and it's what every one of us is here today because we believe in freedom, we believe in the power of free markets, and we understand that freedom works. It's the greatest engine of prosperity and opportunity the world's ever seen.
Adams, Adamley, Adamowski, Baxian, Bueller, Bueller.